Welcome to today's deep dive into one of the most iconic and widely circulated coins in the United States, the Liberty Quarter Dollar. This is the coin that proudly carries the inscription Liberty and In God We Trust. In this detailed exploration, we will uncover the rich history behind this coin, its geography, mintage information, and most importantly, its value in the world of numismatics. The United States quarter dollar, also known simply as the quarter, has a long and storied history dating back to the very beginnings of the country's coinage system. The first quarter dollar was authorized under the Coinage Act of 1792. This act established the U.S. Mint and laid the foundation for a standardized system of currency. Draped bust and capped bust quarters, 1796 to 1838, the earliest quarter featured the draped bust design, followed by the capped bust. These early quarters were struck in silver and were not widely circulated, making them rare and valuable today. The seated Liberty design, which would evolve into the more modern representations of liberty, appeared from 1838 to 1891. This period was pivotal, as the design came during times of growth in the U.S. and major social changes such as the Civil War. Named after its designer, Charles E. Barber, the Barber quarter replaced the seated Liberty design. Barber's image of liberty is a bit more conservative, reflecting the Victorian sensibilities of the era. One of the most artistic designs, the standing Liberty quarter features Liberty holding a shield in one hand and an olive branch in the other, symbolizing the U.S. desire for peace, but readiness to defend itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design proved so popular that it has been used continuously since, though with modifications. This is the version most people recognize today, with George Washington's profile on the obverse and various designs, including the iconic eagle on the reverse. The geography of the U.S. quarter is interesting because it has been influenced by the various U.S. mints located across the country. The original mint in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was the primary producer of U.S. quarters in the early years. Coins minted here carry no mint mark, except for modern-day collector's issues. Opened in 1906, the Denver Mint has been a major producer of quarters. Coins from this mint are identified by the D mint mark. Quarters minted in San Francisco bear the S mint mark and are mostly proofs since the mid-20th century. In recent years, the West Point Mint has produced some limited quarters with a W mint mark, which are highly sought after by collectors. Every quarter features distinct markings and design elements that make it unique, with particular attention to the following. George Washington's profile has been featured since 1932, along with the word Liberty above his head and In God We Trust to the left. These inscriptions embody the American ideals of freedom and faith. Traditionally, the reverse displayed an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. However, from 1999 to 2008, the reverse designs changed to represent the 50 states as part of the U.S. State Quarters program. More recently, there have been designs featuring national parks and prominent American women. The value of any quarter dollar depends largely on its age, condition, and rarity. Most quarters from the mid-20th century onwards that are still in circulation are worth only their face value, 25 cents, if they are heavily worn or have no special historical significance. Quarters minted before 1965 are 90% silver, giving them significant intrinsic value. These coins are highly sought after by both collectors and investors in precious metals. These quarters were released in a staggered fashion to honor each of the 50 states. Although these coins are not rare in circulated condition, complete uncirculated sets are valuable, especially if they include proofs or rare mint marks. In 2019 and 2020, the West Point Mint struck quarters with the W mint mark. These quarters were intentionally released into circulation in limited numbers, making them desirable to collectors. In high grades, these can sell for several $100s. These older designs are rarer and highly valued, especially in high-grade or uncirculated condition. Standing Liberty quarters from 1916, its first year of issue, are particularly valuable. Quarters that feature striking errors, double dies, or other minting anomalies can fetch significantly higher prices. For example, an error on a state quarter where parts of the design are missing can be worth thousands of dollars. Modern mintage. The mintage numbers for modern quarters can vary widely. For instance, during the state quarters program, mintage figures for each design could range from hundreds of millions to over $1 billion per state. The massive production makes these coins relatively common in lower grades. Quarters from the 19th and early 20th centuries had much lower mintage figures, often in the tens or hundreds of thousands, making them rarer and more valuable. If you're interested in knowing the value of a particular quarter, several factors come into play. The condition of the coin, from good to mint state, can drastically affect its value. A quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch significantly more than a heavily worn one. Coins from certain mints may be rarer. For example, a standing Liberty quarter with a D mint mark, Denver, from certain years could be worth more than its Philadelphia counterpart. Year and type. Certain years and designs of quarters are rarer than others. A 1932 Washington quarter, for example, is much rarer than most other Washington quarters and can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on condition. If you're looking to start or expand your coin collection, quarters are a great place to begin. Here are some tips. Start with state or national park quarters. These are widely available and offer an accessible entry point into numismatics. Hunt for silver quarters. Pre-1965 quarters are worth more than their face value due to their silver content. You might even find one in your pocket change. Focus on key dates and mint marks. As with any type of coin collecting, certain key dates and mint marks are more valuable. Research and target these when building your collection. Consider proof sets. Proof quarters are struck with a higher level of detail and come in sets. These are usually not for circulation and are a favorite among collectors. The U.S. quarter dollar is more than just a piece of everyday currency. It's a symbol of American history, artistry, and the evolving story of the nation. Whether you're a casual collector or a serious numismatist, quarters offer a fascinating glimpse into the past, and their potential value, both in terms of history and money, shouldn't be underestimated.